Hi, this is Saudi,
This Bunny.
and today we are going to talk about hunger. Welcome to the welcome to the Saturday Strength Show. And here we go. All right. Okay. So today we are going to talk about hunger, right? Okay. So, I think we spoke about this some time back. That we were saying that I have a hungry brain. Yeah, right. So basically my relationship with food is in a way it's a bit like a tug of war. So sometimes when I'm hungry, I'll eat, but then sometimes actually I'm not hungry, I also want to eat, right? So I think that today's topic is really about um distinguishing whether you're really hungry before you need food, or you're just eating for fun, for that matter, right? Okay, so I think so it's a topic that's quite close to my heart because I do struggle with my food, right? In a sense, like there are times where I may eat because I just have a craving. Then after that, I actually feel guilty about it. I'm not sure how many of you watching have that feeling as well. It's a little bit strange because food is just food, right? But yet, uh, food has this control over some of us, like myself, right? That when I eat it, I feel a certain emotions. When I don't eat it, I feel certain emotions. So that doesn't really help me in a sense whether I am trying to cut weight for my powerlifting or whether I'm just trying to get leaner. It really is a problem, to be honest. So if any of you have this issue, right, in terms of your relationship with food, do let us know in the comments as well. Okay, so Bernie, I know you don't have that issue.
Well, I think not not the in the same way. But just now, as you were saying that sometimes for some people, when they eat food, they have a certain emotion. Yeah. But I think also there are some people who have certain emotions and then it triggers them to want to eat. I mean, I know people who kind of like, oh, it's very like I had a very stressful day. I want to eat chocolate, for example.
Definitely. So I think today's topic is really about that. Like, if you have certain goals you want to work towards, whether it's weight management, whether it's body fat composition management, or you simply need to cut weight because you have a competition and stuff like that, or if you've been a chronic dieter, that means for your whole life you've been dieting and you've been having this war with food, right? What we want to do today is to introduce the idea of what if you don't have to really be so concerned about what you're eating, because all kinds of diets, should I eat, can I eat carbs, can I eat fat, can I eat protein, all these things, and then should I count calories? It all becomes very confusing. So today, what if we're saying that if you get this one thing right, you can manage all these goals easily. All right. Okay. So let's get started. Okay. So, the other one. All right. So today we're really talking about hunger versus craving or appetite. All right. So now the first question is: are you hungry? How do you know? Right. So are you hungry now, Penny?
Right now, no.
Okay. So right now I actually feel a little bit hungry. Okay, so the thing is, how do I know whether I'm hungry? Um, for me, there is actually a bit of sensation in my body, like my tummy will feel a little bit rumbly, right? So normally, how do you feel when you're hungry?
I think sometimes there will be that rumbling sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, and then it just there's a sensation also lah. I mean, not just the sound, but then there's a sensation. Yeah, maybe more juices.
Yeah, definitely. And then sometimes I've experienced I'm hungry to a point where I feel a little bit weak in that sense, right? Like last night I did my training. We went to where I did my training. Then I was actually very hungry, so it was really not a good feeling. I didn't feel as strong as usual, right? Okay, so really ask yourself this question right now. We invite you to ask this question: am I hungry, and how do I know? right? Okay, so let's explore this question. All right, how many of you or how often do you actually eat because it's time to eat? All right, so people tell me, oh, breakfast is at 7, so I have to eat something at 7. Lunch is at 12, I have to eat at 12. Dinner's at 6, I have to eat at 6. So how many of you actually eat just basically because it's time for lunch, time for dinner? All right, do let us know. I understand that this is something of a bit of a logistic thing lah, because if you work in an office setting, then that's kind of, it is what it is. So it's interesting to know actually breakfast, lunch, dinner is quite an industrialized concept, right? It's literally created because of in America, like, you know, they have factories, and the most productive way is to have everybody eat at the same time, literally, right? So that's how lunchtime started, and then, you know, after a day of work, that's how dinner time started. Same thing. But if you really go and look back at our forefathers, you know, in a long time ago, probably nobody, like, what's breakfast, lunch, and dinner? There's no such thing as meal time. All right, there's no fixed time to eat. All right. Okay. Then another question is, you know, how when we do certain thing, it triggers certain habits, right? So I think watching a movie, watching TV show, often is linked to another, you know, snacking. All right. So how many of you actually eat just because you always do so? Like when you're doing certain things, like watching a TV show or watching a movie, right? It's like, oh, I buy my movie ticket means I must go and buy my popcorn. It's like whether I feel like it or not doesn't matter. I just, movie equals popcorn.
Yeah, and then like sometimes even now when movie theaters are opening and closing, even when we do it like Netflix at home, some of us actually carry over that habit. Like instead of popcorn, maybe we have chips or something.
Yeah. So it's like, just there is a particular food that you link to certain activity. It's like, I do it like, I must eat this, even though you have like absolutely you're not hungry for it. You know, you just had a big meal, but because I do A, therefore I must have B food. All right, okay. And then how often do you eat because you are stressed? Right, just now Bernie mentioned this about stress eating. So I think it's pretty common. I myself, I do well, for me nowadays not so much. I used to, when I'm stressed, I actually eat, you know, I just look for things to eat lah. Nowadays not so much of stress. I think when I'm bored or when I'm trying to procrastinate, okay, I have to go do something right now I don't feel like doing, then I actually go and look for food. Yeah, so I'm actually using food as like an escape, I guess. Distraction. Yeah. So how many of you actually eat because you are experiencing certain emotion? Stress is a common one, but you know, other emotions like anger, happiness, sadness also is it could be a trigger for your eating, right? Okay. And then this one, very, very big one for me, because my whole family suffers from this, right? We suffer from the seafood diet. We see food and we want to eat it. All right. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's an Asian thing as well. Like, you know, we always have this last, you know, when we can't finish food on the table, right? How many of you will just eat it anyway, even though you are full already? Right? Would you?
I think for me it depends on how much is left. Yeah. So for my family, if there's like still a sizable portion, we will keep it. But if it's just like one piece, then it's like, oh, you don't want to throw it away because it's very wasteful and sinful to do so, right? Then someone will have to eat it.
Yeah. So growing up, right, I am literally the family rubbish bin, right? Like they can't finish, they'll ask me to kind of finish up. Then because I was you know, train for the better word, to do that since young, it's still a habit of mine. Well, I'm happy to say that I've been better at it. Like, you know, I'm more aware now that if I'm full, I can stop, and I just kind of pack it away for another day. So, but it is a struggle, and it is a habit that a lot of you probably suffer from. But know that it's not your fault. I mean, it's really something that we have been doing for a long time, and it does take some effort to change it.
Yeah. I think also some of it is like conditioned from young, because like your parents will always say, you know, the farmer work very hard, or they will give you like some old wives' tale, like, oh, if you don't finish all your rice, your husband or your partner will have like pimples on their faces and stuff like that. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so so this is another common thing. All right. Okay, so the thing is, all these things, right? Whether it's emotion, whether we seafood diet, whether we eat because it's dinner time, lunchtime, all these are really what we call eating out of habit instead of hungry. All right. So because we are, I mean, we are very blessed. We live in a time now where food is abundant. We literally can have food anytime we want, right? So because of that, we are not more and more eating out of habit, and we forgot our hunger cues. All right. So we believe that our body is actually a very wise. There's wisdom in our body. All right. Our body actually knows when it wants food, when it doesn't want. So it knows when it wants to be nourished. All right. So and that comes with the hunger cues. So because all of us are so used to eating our habit, we forgot our hunger cues. So today I'm going to talk about how do you know. All right, really get in touch with this hunger cue. How do you know when you are really hungry and really it's time to eat? All right. Okay. So let's differentiate between hunger and appetite first, right? So hunger is literally a physiological response, which means your body physically really need something, really need energy, really need energy and food. All right. So usually the response will be quite physical. You will feel like rumbling in the belly. There'll be some hollow feeling. All right. Or you just lose focus and like energy level is very low. Okay. Whereas appetite or craving is usually more of a psychological need and want for food. All right. So it's just kind of in your head. So usually it could be brought about by seeing a certain food. All right. Like when I walk past a bakery, oh, it smells so good. Like the smell triggers a craving. Or I walk past a fried chicken store. I see the fried chicken looks so yummy. So it could be sight, it could be smell. It's just triggered by all these senses, or it could really just be triggered by emotion. Usually as a result of emotion, right? Because I know of people who say, okay, I want to eat this because I want to celebrate. I'm happy. I want to celebrate this, or I'm sad. Chocolate will make me feel better. So these are common things that people use. All right. So craving or appetite is really more of triggered by your senses and emotions versus hunger, which is really a physiological response. All right. Okay. Okay. So how do we know whether we are really hungry? All right. So there's some questions you can actually ask yourself to help you to find out. Right. So one of the question is, am I hungry enough to eat a meal of protein and vegetables? Okay. I could also change this question to, am I hungry enough to eat anything you give me? All right, because if the answer is yes to that, then it means that you're really hungry. But if you're kind of picky about what you want to eat, then maybe you're not that hungry, right? Like it's like, okay, are you hungry enough to eat just one bowl of broccoli and nothing else? Like if that's the only thing available. If you're okay with that, then maybe you're really hungry, but you're like, broccoli, nah, no, I'm not that hungry after all. Then it's not really hunger. All right, you're just simply wanting to eat something. All right. So the other question you can ask yourself is, do I simply want to eat something very specific based on a sight or smell? So it's like, I really, really only want to eat that chocolate cake. I really, really only want to eat fried chicken. I really, really only want to eat tau sa piah, So it's a very specific want for a specific food. Okay. So then that's probably not hunger. All right. Okay. Then of course you want to check in with your your physical body. Like when I mentioned just now, is your stomach growling, feeling hollow? Are you like feeling dizzy and low energy as well? So that's something you can look at. Okay. Is there a sensation that you're experiencing? All right. And then this sensation, right, is it really coming from your body or is it coming from here? All right. Unfortunately, as much as we would like to deny it, I think most of the time it comes from here, right? Okay, it's really about a feeling of, oh, I think I'm hungry, I feel hungry, but then because you might say that because you walk past something that smells good, then you just convince yourself you're hungry. So our what we want to invite you to do is, anytime that something happens, you actually kind of pause and ask yourself a few questions first before deciding to actually eat it. All right. So we're not saying you can't eat it. You can. It's just a matter of whether you are eating it in a way that is helpful for your goals. All right. Okay. So Another question that you can ask yourself is there something else that I need other than food right now? So remember, we said food is often linked to emotions, right? So the thing is, other than food, I mean, food is just something that you might be used to in terms of leaning into to feel better. Like say, some people say, oh, if I just eat the chocolate, I'll feel better, right? So if you're feeling stressed, you're feeling sad, all this, maybe what you need is something else to release the stress. It could be really just going for a walk. It should be, it could be some breathing exercises. It could be just having fun, having been in company of other people. All right. So that is something that you can work on as well, right? Okay. Um, on this note, right? I some of our clients have actually told me this. I mean, some of my clients were talking about this. Like, actually, they are not big on the food. They are big on company with friends. But then company with friends always comes with food. And so number one is food is a social thing first, and then plus seafood diet. So because friends always come with food, and then I see the food I eat, so it becomes actually I whenever I go for a social gathering, I just eat. I don't care when I'm hungry, but I just eat because I'm with my friends, I'm happy, and then I see food, I just eat it. All right. So it's also a common thing for many people. Right. So now the question is, what can I do about this lah? So for that, perhaps really the focus is I am there because I enjoy my friend's company. It's really about, okay, maybe we don't need to order so much food, or maybe we can go for a walk together. There are so many other activities you can do together as company rather than just food. Okay. All right. So this is also another common thing, which is viewing hunger as an emergency. This is what I call preempting hunger. All right, preempting hunger. That means you think that today I'm very busy, later I don't have time to eat, so I eat first. All right. Okay. So why are you laughing at this, Bernie?
Cause I know you do that sometimes, or
Yeah.
you used to. I don't know about
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. I used to like this. Okay, late. I'm very busy today. Later, I have no chance to eat. Right. Then I actually just eat now because I think I might be hungry later. But then now I'm better because I realized that actually I can just prepare small things that I can kind of eat in between, rather than trying to force myself to eat lah. Like, preempting. Because what has this is a funny story. Actually, what happened was there was this training I used to do, right? That is pretty intense, and then as in it's not a physical training. It's just like a personal growth training that I used to do. It's pretty intense. So the meal times are not really fixed, and I always think that when it's meal times, we may not have time to eat as well. So I always pre-eat. Okay, the thing is, right? In the end, right? Actually, there's always time to eat one. So I pre-eat already, then I also eat during the time to eat as well. So in the end, I eat more than what I need to eat. Yeah, so it's quite silly. Then in fact, I also have another story to share. Is I had a friend who used to be air crew. When she first started, she also thought that as an air crew, you wouldn't really have time to, whereas you're busy serving other people, so you don't really have time to eat your own, right? So she also pre-eat. So she eat before her flight. But then in the end, actually during the flight, they do have time to eat, so she eat some more. So in the end, after 3 months, what happened is she needs to upsize her uniform, and she got a warning letter. So, so there's really no need to pre-eat. Hunger is not an emergency. You can always prepare something small to bring along, right? And then if not, just wait for a little while, and then you can eat later.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost similar. Like if you want to draw a parallel, if you think about it, it's like, I think I'm going to fall sick next week. Let me go and see doctor now.
Yeah, it's true. But some people may not think that way. But yeah, so hunger is really not an emergency. We live in a very prosperous society, and that there's food everywhere. There's no need to be scared that, there's no food now, I better eat now. All right. I mean, of course, if you live, a long time ago, whatever you have is what you have for the next few days, then we do eat it. But now it's not the case. Food is everywhere. It's really very convenient. You don't have to be concerned that there's no food available. All right. Okay. All right. So just want to share with you this flow chart. I'm just going to make it bigger so you can see it. Let me try to make it bigger. All right. So when you are going through, going about, right, with your hunger, or, going about in terms of your relationship with food, right? this is what I would like to invite you to do. All right, to kind of go through this flow chart. Okay, so we start here on asking yourself, are you hungry? Okay, so how do you remember how you know, right? How do you know is your physical sensation. Okay, so if it's a no, then that's fine. Just drink some water anyway and get move along and continue whatever you're doing. But if it's yes, then you ask yourself, has it been at least 2 hours since your last meal? All right. Again, if it's no, then most likely not hungry because you just had a food not long ago. You can just kind of drink some water. And then if you're still feeling hungry, then check in again. Really pause, really just about pausing and check in. And it's okay, no, then it's just your mind kind of playing tricks on you. And if it's yes, then it might be emotionally hungry. So you might need to do something else to take your mind off it. All right, okay. Or after 2 minutes, or if you have had your meal more than 2 hours ago, then you check in again. Is your stomach growling? Are there any physical sensation? Again, if it's no, go and drink some water instead. If it's yes, then you ask yourself the final question is, would you just eat a bowl of vegetables even if you hated it? Remember the test, the ultimate test of hunger is, if I give you something you hate, will you still eat it? All right. If the answer is yes, then yes, go ahead and have some food. You don't have to have the food you hate. You can go and have the food that you like, but at least you know it's because you're already hungry, right? But of course, if you're not willing to eat the vegetables that you hate, then again, most likely it's just emotionally hungry. Then you need to go find something else to do, basically take your mind off it. All right, okay. So after a while, you will get better at it. So in the beginning, you will feel a bit uncomfortable, right? In the beginning, you'll feel a bit uncomfortable. After a while, you realize that it gets easier and easier. Basically, it will get easier. And so at first, the pausing is probably the number one habit you want to use first. Okay, so the number one thing you need to handle is probably learning how to pause first, right? Really learning how to, okay, whenever I see food I want to eat, pause first, then decide. All right, so it's really about that one pause alone, just that few seconds is going to make a lot of difference. All right, so we invite you to do that. Okay, so that's all from our sharing today with regards to hunger. So to be honest, this whole food relationship is a long time, is a long time battle and struggle for myself. Like, I've been overweight since I was very young, and even as an adult, I still do I still do struggle with it sometimes. So, but I'm happy to share that right now I am in a much better place. I've learned to make peace with food per se. All right, so this is something that's powerful. So I'm not so concerned about what I'm eating anymore, more so than how I'm eating. All right, so I invite you to share with me if you are feeling the struggle as well. Please feel free to get in touch. I would really love to talk to you about it. All right, okay. So before we go, just a quick announcement, right? A quick announcement, and that is on the 24th of July. Okay, so this is I know it's not really related to our topic today. Well, it is kind of related, because on the 24th of July, we've been invited to be part of this health and fitness conference, where we get to share the stage with Skip Archimedes. All right, so he is amazing. He's an international speaker, and he has this very powerful program about how his story is quite amazing, because he has been through the lows because of injury, and he's been through the highs as well, as a award-winning gymnast, right? Okay, so quite excited to speak with him. In fact, we are also in good company of other experts, right? So the other experts, we're going to talk about pain management, we're going to talk about stress,
nutrition.
Nutrition is a big one. Nutrition is a big one as well, and also sexuality, right? Okay, so basically any topics covering fitness and health will be included, so to speak. All right, so if you are interested in this event, okay, the tickets are not available yet, but if you are interested, you can join the Facebook group created for this event to get first dibs to the tickets. All right, so if you join this group, you'll be the first to be given special access to this event. So do pop into the Facebook group if you're interested in this event. All right, okay. All right, so that's all from us today. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. So Saturday Strength Show is gonna be, I know the name of the show sounds like we are gonna be like doing crazy things, right? But we're not. We are really going to focus on topics that is related to strength, both physical strength, mental strength and emotional strength. All right. So it's gonna be pretty casual like this. We're just gonna have a chat. So if you have any topics that you want us to cover, whether it's about movement, about strength training, whether it's about nutrition, whether it's about mindset, anything at all, do let us know. I will be more than happy to talk about it with you. All right, okay. So next Saturday at 11, we'll see you again. And just want to share with you, this is what we stand for. Really, we are strength coaches for the busy folks, and we believe that you can be strong at every size. It doesn't matter how young, how old, how big, how small, you can be strong, and we hope that you can journey with us. All right, okay, so that's all from us today, and we will see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.